53% of Gen Z is living paycheck to paycheck with an average of $37,000 in student debt. Yet somehow, they're still finding ways to invest and build wealth. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how broke 20-somethings are building investment portfolios with minimal starting capital. Like my friend Taylor, who started with just a single dollar and now has a growing portfolio. If you've got $5 or even just $1, you can begin today. We'll break down the practical steps anyone can follow, regardless of your financial situation. Because building wealth doesn't require having thousands saved up, it just requires taking that first step. The reality check, Gen Z's financial squeeze. Wait, are Gen Z actually broke? Or is that just what the media wants us to believe? Let's get real about the financial situation facing these digital natives, because the numbers tell a story that's both concerning and surprisingly hopeful. The bank account reality for Gen Z is pretty rough right now. Most don't even have enough saved to cover a full month of expenses. Imagine your car suddenly breaking down with a $500 repair bill when your account balance is showing double digits. They're spending nearly twice as much as they save, creating a financial tightrope walk where one misstep could mean serious trouble. Traditional financial advice feels completely disconnected from their reality. This generation faces unprecedented economic challenges. Housing costs devour an outrageous chunk of their income. Many cities demanding over 50% of a young person's salary just for rent. Combine that with entry-level wages that haven't kept pace with inflation, and you've created financial quicksand that previous generations simply didn't step into at the same age. The emotional toll is significant. About 43% of Gen Zers report feeling behind compared to their parents' financial milestones. When your parents could afford a house on a single income, while you're calculating if you can split an apartment 3 ways instead of 4, that creates a real psychological burden. But here's the plot twist that changes everything. Despite these massive obstacles, Gen Z is investing at higher rates than Millennials did at the same age. More than half, 54%, already have some form of investment. This completely contradicts the broke and irresponsible narrative. So what's happening here? How is a generation with such limited resources still participating in the investment game? Gen Z is rewriting the wealth-building playbook. They're not waiting for that mythical day when they have thousands saved up. Instead, they're taking micro-actions and small, consistent steps that work without requiring big chunks of capital. As financial expert Amanda Francis points out, they're adopting the identity of investors, not just consumers. This mindset shift is game-changing, focusing on establishing the habits of an investor from day one, even with tiny amounts. There's also a fascinating cultural movement happening around money that's distinctly Gen Z. They've created loud budgeting on platforms like TikTok, embracing financial transparency instead of keeping money matters private like previous generations. They openly share budgets, celebrate wins, discuss struggles, and build community-driven financial education. This transparency creates accountability and support. Sharing budget breakdowns or investment milestones publicly motivates them to stick with financial goals while normalizing the challenges of building wealth from zero. It's like having thousands of financial accountability partners checking your progress. Gen Z approaches wealth differently through soft saving, prioritizing quality of life alongside building assets. 3/4 say they'd rather enjoy a better lifestyle than have extra money sitting idle in an account. They're not dismissing financial security, they're just redefining what success means to them. Their investment approach is wildly experimental. They're exploring traditional options like 401ks alongside cryptocurrencies, socially responsible investments, and alternative options that older generations might consider too unconventional. What's particularly interesting is how many are investing without the traditional safety net of substantial savings. They're calculating risk differently, recognizing that while emergency funds matter, waiting until you've stockpiled 6 months of expenses before investing anything could mean missing years of potential growth. Gen Z navigates a financial landscape that barely resembles what their parents knew. College degrees cost more, but deliver less value in the job market. Housing is increasingly out of reach in major employment hubs. Traditional career paths have been completely disrupted. Yet they're still finding ways to participate in wealth building despite these massive challenges. They leverage technology that makes investing more accessible than ever. Apps that round up spare change into investments, platforms offering fractional shares of expensive stocks for pocket change, and communities freely sharing investment knowledge instead of gatekeeping it behind expensive financial advisor relationships. Traditional financial experts often misinterpret this generation. They see the spending patterns and low savings rates as irresponsibility, when what's really happening is adaptation. Gen Z is creating new approaches to wealth building that fit their economic reality, not the world their parents inhabited decades ago. This approach carries risks. Investing without adequate emergency savings creates vulnerability to financial shocks. Experimental investments can lead to losses. And yes, some Gen Zers follow questionable financial advice from social media influencers. But their willingness to start early and reimagine financial success also holds tremendous potential. The magic of compound interest means that small investments in your early 20s can outperform much larger investments started years later. By beginning now, even with tiny amounts, Gen Z is potentially setting themselves up for long-term success despite their challenging starting position. The micro-investing revolution, building wealth $1 at a time. Those tiny amounts Gen Z is investing aren't just cute financial baby steps. They're part of a full-on revolution that's flipping Wall Street upside down. Think about this. A generation that supposedly can't afford avocado toast is somehow buying slices of billion-dollar companies for less than the price of an actual avocado. How? It's all thanks to micro-investing, the game-changing approach that's making wealth building possible with literally pocket change. Remember when starting to invest meant having a few $1,000s saved up first? That model created a massive financial fortress that kept young people and those with limited resources permanently on the sidelines. You needed to save up a significant chunk of money before a traditional brokerage would even look at you. Meanwhile, micro-investing platforms have demolished that fortress and replaced it with a wide-open door that anyone can walk through, even with just the change from your coffee run. Apps like Acorns pioneered a genius approach. They round up your everyday purchases to the nearest dollar and automatically invest that spare change into diversified portfolios. That coffee you just bought for $4.75, the extra 25 cents gets whisked away into investments. Take Sarah, a college student who started using Acorns 2 years ago. By just letting the app round up her daily purchases, she accumulated over $800 in investments without ever feeling the pinch in her monthly budget. Those quarters added up faster than she expected, especially when they started earning returns instead of disappearing into her couch cushions. Robinhood transformed the landscape even further by allowing users to start investing with just a single dollar. $1 single dollar. That's sort of like the financial equivalent of saying everyone's invited to the party. Their commission-free trading model and user-friendly interface hit the perfect sweet spot for Gen Z, who expect their digital experiences to be both seamless and accessible. These platforms have exploded in popularity by removing the most significant barrier that kept young people from building wealth through investments. These apps make money in several ways while keeping investing affordable for users. Many earn revenue through subscription tiers offering premium features, while others generate income from uninvested cash sitting in user accounts, similar to how banks operate. This business model allows them to offer commission-free trading while maintaining profitability, even if some controversy exists around practices like payment for order flow. The real power of micro-investing shows in its psychological benefits. When you see even $5 grow to $5.50, something clicks in your brain. That small win creates a positive feedback loop that reinforces good financial behavior. It's like getting a tiny dopamine hit every time you check your account and see your money actually working for you. This psychological reinforcement works particularly well for Gen Z, who grew up with games and apps designed to deliver these exact kinds of reward mechanisms. Small investments can snowball surprisingly quickly. Many young investors who started with less than $100 during the pandemic have built portfolios worth thousands by consistently adding small amounts, sometimes just $5 a week from their part-time jobs. They're developing financial habits and literacy around investing that previous generations often didn't acquire until much later in life, if at all. The math makes these micro-investments potentially life-changing over time. Investing just $5 weekly at an average annual return of 7% grows to over $10,000 in 30 years. For Gen Z, who has decades ahead of them, starting tiny today could translate to substantial wealth tomorrow without feeling like a major financial sacrifice. These platforms have made investing less intimidating through gamification. They've transformed the experience with rewards, achievements, and intuitive interfaces that make the whole process feel less like a stuffy financial seminar and more like something you'd actually want to engage with. It's investing that doesn't feel like investing, and that's precisely why it's working for a generation that values experiences over traditional approaches. Fractional shares are the secret sauce in this whole micro-investing revolution. Now you can own tiny slices of expensive stocks with just $1, getting the same percentage returns as someone who bought whole shares, just on a smaller scale. This democratizes access to blue-chip stocks that were previously only realistic options for wealthier investors. For Gen Z, this approach aligns perfectly with how they already handle other aspects of their lives, subscribing to services rather than making big purchases, sharing access rather than insisting on full ownership, and valuing flexibility over commitment. The ability to gradually build positions in companies they believe in matches their preference for customization and personalization. Perhaps the most revolutionary aspect of micro-investing is how it's reshaping financial education. Instead of learning about investing through textbooks or lectures, Gen Z is learning by doing, with real money, but at a scale where mistakes won't be catastrophic. This hands-on approach is creating a generation that understands market dynamics, diversification, and investment strategies through direct experience rather than theory. The best micro-investing apps that let you start with just $1 include Acorns with its roundup approach, Robinhood with commission-free trading, and Public with its social features that allow users to see what others are investing in. Each offers slightly different features, but they all share the same revolutionary approach, letting users invest with whatever they have, even if it's just spare change. Fractional shares, owning pieces of big companies without big money. But what exactly happens when you invest that spare dollar? Are you getting actual stock or just some watered-down version of investing? The truth about fractional shares flips everything we thought we knew about stock ownership on its head, and it's giving Gen Z access to the exact same premium investments as Wall Street bigwigs. Let's break it down. Fractional shares are exactly what they sound like, tiny slices of expensive stocks that would normally be out of reach for anyone without serious cash. Think of it like a pizza. Before, you had to buy the whole pizza at $3,000, looking at you, Amazon stock. Now you can grab just the slice you can afford, even if it's only $5 worth, or 0.167% of a share. Just like that, you've gone from, I can't afford to shop at Whole Foods, to I literally own a piece of Whole Foods. I'll never forget when my cousin Mia, a college sophomore with just $30 to her name, texted me a screenshot of her first fractional investment in Tesla. I own part of Elon's company, she wrote, followed by about 20 excited emojis. That small purchase changed her entire relationship with money. Suddenly, investing wasn't this far-off adult thing, but something she could actually participate in. The math is pretty mind-blowing. With just $100, you could build a mini empire across multiple premium stocks instead of being stuck with whatever single cheap stock you could afford. Spreading that $100 to own pieces of Apple, Tesla, Google, Microsoft, and Netflix essentially creates your own personalized tech ETF from scratch. That kind of diversification used to require thousands to achieve. Here's the real deal. When these companies pay dividends, you still get your fair share. Own 2% of an Apple share and Apple pays a $1 dividend? You'll receive 2 cents. Not life-changing on its own, but set those dividends to automatically reinvest, and you're buying even more fractional shares without lifting a finger. It's like planting tiny money seeds that grow into a financial garden over time. People often ask, but do I actually own anything with fractional shares? Yes, you own exactly the percentage of the stock you purchased. The main difference is that fractional shares typically don't come with voting rights, which whole shares get. But honestly, were you planning to show up at the next Amazon shareholder meeting? You still get the same percentage returns as the billionaires when the stock grows, which is what actually matters for building wealth. Gen Z is crushing it with dollar cost averaging through these tiny investments. Instead of trying to time the market, which even Wall Street pros fail at consistently, many set up automatic weekly or monthly investments of just $10 or $20 into their favorite stocks. This strategy means buying when prices are both high and low, which over time evens out the cost basis and reduces the impact of market craziness. Blue-chip stocks like Apple, Amazon, and Tesla would normally be completely out of reach for most young investors because of their high share prices. Yet, they're among the most popular choices for fractional investing because they offer that perfect combo of growth potential and established stability. When markets go through their inevitable freakouts, these companies typically weather the storm better than newer, untested ones. What makes this approach so powerful is the percentage game. If Tesla stock jumps 20%, your $20 fractional share grows by 20% too. The dollar amount might seem small, going from $20 to $24, but the percentage growth is identical to what the big players get. As you consistently add to your positions, those percentages work on larger and larger amounts, creating real wealth over time. Financial experts who once rolled their eyes at fractional investing are changing their tune. Many now acknowledge this approach can lead to long-term wealth accumulation comparable to traditional investing. By democratizing access to premium investments, fractional shares have leveled the playing field in ways previous generations couldn't imagine. To sum it up simply, 1. Fractional shares are real ownership of premium companies. 2. They give identical percentage returns as whole shares. 3. They allow diversification with minimal cash. 4. They create accessible entry points to wealth building. Of course, it's not all perfect. Some platforms charge fees that can eat into returns, especially on tiny investments. A $1 monthly subscription fee seems small, but on a $10 investment, that's a 10% cost just to hold your investment. Always compare fee structures before deciding where to park your fractional investments. What's fascinating is how this accessibility is changing investment psychology. When buying stocks meant major financial commitments, the pressure was intense. Now, Gen Z can experiment with different stocks without the anxiety of risking large sums. This creates space for learning through experience rather than just theory. Previous generations had to learn investing by jumping into the deep end with thousands at stake. Gen Z gets to start in the shallow end with a few bucks, building confidence before moving deeper. The risk of making a $5 mistake while learning feels vastly different from risking $5,000 on your first investment. The platforms offering fractional shares have also gamified investing in ways that make learning more engaging. They provide real-time data, educational resources, and social features that transform once boring financial management into something that actually holds attention. For a generation raised on interactive experiences, this approach just makes sense. The side hustle investment pipeline, turning skills into stocks. Beyond apps that gamify investing, Gen Z has unlocked an entirely different money pipeline that their parents never imagined. Nearly 2/3 of young adults are creating income streams designed specifically to build wealth. That random Etsy shop your roommate runs, those weekend DJ gigs, these aren't random side jobs. They're sophisticated investment machines feeding directly into retirement accounts and stock portfolios. I never thought my custom phone case designs would fund my stock portfolio, says Maya, a 24-year-old graphic designer who allocates 70% of her Etsy earnings directly to her investment account. But I've automated the entire process. From production to ship to investment transfers, The $700 I make monthly goes straight into my portfolio without me having to think about it. While previous generations picked up second jobs at local coffee shops just to make ends meet, today's young adults are bypassing traditional employment altogether. Almost half of Gen Z is juggling multiple side hustles simultaneously, creating a diversified income portfolio that functions like a money tree. Start with a small seed of effort that eventually produces financial fruit with minimal maintenance. These side hustlers are pulling in an average of $958 monthly from their various gigs, nearly $1,000 of potential investment capital that they're putting to work. The motivation behind this hustle culture marks a fundamental shift. For previous generations, side jobs meant survival, paying bills when the main job couldn't cut it. For Gen Z, the driving forces are completely different. About half are motivated by the desire to be their own boss, while 42% are pursuing their passions. Financial independence is baked into the very method of getting there. Take Alex, who runs a weekend dog walking business in his neighborhood. I set up automatic transfers so that 60% of every payment goes directly to my investment account. I never even see that money hit my checking account, which means I'm not tempted to spend it. In the past year, I've invested over $6,000 this way, money I would have probably blown on takeout or online shopping. The side hustle economy has created a middle path between traditional employment and full entrepreneurship. Instead of climbing the corporate ladder or risking everything on a startup, Gen Z is building micro businesses that require minimal upfront investment but generate steady income streams. The tax advantages of this approach are significant but often overlooked. Self-employment income used for certain types of investments can create powerful tax benefits. When side hustle earnings are funneled into CPIRAs or solo 401ks, young entrepreneurs can potentially deduct those contributions from their taxable income while simultaneously building wealth, reducing current tax burden while growing future assets. What's particularly clever about the Gen Z approach is how they're leveraging technology to overcome time constraints. Nearly half of side hustlers cite a lack of hours in the day as their biggest obstacle. Rather than burning out, they're implementing smart automation systems and AI tools to streamline operations. I used to spend hours managing my freelance writing clients, explains Jordan, a 22-year-old marketing major. Now I use AI tools to handle initial drafts, scheduling software for client meetings, and automatic invoicing systems. What once took 20 hours weekly now takes maybe 5, but I'm earning the same amount. That's all money going straight into my tech stock portfolio. Social media has become the backbone of this side hustle revolution, with 44% of Gen Z entrepreneurs using platforms like Instagram and TikTok as their primary marketing tools. Unlike traditional advertising, which required substantial investment, social platforms offer virtually free marketing reach to anyone with creativity and consistency. The beauty of this approach is its scalability. Many Gen Z entrepreneurs start with a single offering, maybe selling digital planners or offering virtual assistant services, and gradually expand as they identify new opportunities. This allows them to test different markets with minimal risk while continuing to fund their investment accounts. The time to profitability for these ventures is remarkably short. Many Gen Z side hustlers report reaching profitability within 3 to 6 months. This quick feedback loop reinforces the behavior. Seeing actual profits flowing into investment accounts within months rather than years keeps motivation high. When my internship got canceled during COVID, I started making custom graduation announcements for friends through Canva, says Taylor, who now runs a thriving design business. That $200 side project has grown into a $30,000 annual business, and 40% of every dollar I earn goes directly into index funds. My friends with traditional jobs aren't investing nearly as aggressively. Perhaps the most significant advantage of the side hustle investment pipeline is psychological. Rather than viewing investing as something you do with leftover money, which rarely exists when you're young, this approach makes wealth building the primary purpose of the extra work. The money never becomes part of the regular budget, so there's no feeling of sacrifice when investing it. Of course, this approach has challenges. The gig economy lacks traditional employment protections, and inconsistent income can make financial planning difficult. Many side hustlers also report struggling with work-life boundaries, especially when their hustles are based on skills they're passionate about. But for a generation facing unprecedented economic challenges, creating investment capital through side hustles offers a path to financial security that doesn't require waiting for higher wages or miraculous windfalls. They're effectively creating their own content creation to investment creation, the social media money pipeline. That random video about your morning routine? It could be secretly building your investment portfolio. The traditional economy wants your time for a paycheck, but what if your time online could generate wealth instead? That TikTok account you've been putting off starting might actually be the investment vehicle you've been searching for. No finance degree or massive savings required. While side hustles have given Gen Z ways to fund their investments, a fascinating financial revolution is happening right on social platforms that's changing the game entirely. Behind the scenes of viral dance trends and beauty tutorials, creators are building investment portfolios that would make traditional 9-to-5 workers do a double take. Let's get real about how this actually works. Remember when content creator wasn't even a real job title? Now it's a legitimate career path that's become a direct pipeline to building serious wealth. The stats don't lie. A whopping 60% of Gen Z investors are using YouTube as their primary source for investment information, while 34% are scrolling TikTok for market insights. They're both consuming financial content and creating it to monetize their entire online presence. Today's Gen Z creators are turning their everyday experiences into content that generates income while they sleep. Take Jamie, a 23-year-old who started posting simple cooking videos from her dorm room kitchen. Within 6 months, she was earning $800 monthly through brand partnerships with cookware companies and automatically transferring 50% directly into her investment accounts. "I never thought my random cooking experiments would fund my Roth IRA," she jokes. "But now I'm literally cooking my way to retirement." The beauty of this approach is that almost any interest can become investment fuel. YouTube's partner program pays creators once they hit 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. TikTok's creator fund compensates based on video performance and engagement. Instagram Reels offers bonuses for creating content that meets certain metrics. And these are just the direct platform payments. The real moneymakers are brand deals and affiliate marketing. What's particularly interesting is that 44% of young entrepreneurs are using social media as their primary marketing tool, with 32% saying it's been the key driver of their business success. This is about strategic content creation with a direct pipeline to investments. Finance content creators, or finfluencers, have completely transformed how Gen Z learns about money. A staggering 65% of young people now rely on advice from these social media financial influencers for their investment decisions. While this raises legitimate concerns about the quality of financial advice, it also represents a massive opportunity for creators who provide valuable information while building their own wealth. Marcus, a 25-year-old creator with 50,000 followers, shares his journey. "I started posting about my crypto investments just to document my journey. Now I earn around $2,000 monthly through sponsored posts and affiliate links to trading platforms. I automatically transfer 70% of that income straight into my investment accounts." The genius of this approach is that creators like Marcus aren't just earning money. They're building audience-based assets that appreciate in value over time. As their following grows, so does their earning potential, creating a compounding effect that mirrors the investments they're funding. You don't need millions of followers to make this work. Smaller creators with engaged audiences of just a few thousand followers often earn between $500 and $1,000 monthly through strategic monetization. The key is consistency and finding the right niche where your content provides genuine value. Smart creators leverage technology to maximize this investment pipeline. Many have set up automatic transfer systems that funnel income from platforms like PayPal or Venmo directly into investment accounts. Every time a brand deal payment hits their account, a predetermined percentage automatically moves into investments. "I never even see that money in my checking account," says Zoe, a lifestyle content creator. "It's like paying my future self first before I can even think about spending it on something else." Content batching has become another efficiency strategy that maximizes investment potential. Instead of creating content daily, many Gen Z creators dedicate 1 or 2 days per month to produce multiple pieces of content in a single sitting. This approach allows them to maintain consistent posting schedules while minimizing time investment. Tyler, who creates personal finance videos, explains, "I film all my content on Sundays. I'll shoot 15 to 20 short videos in a single afternoon, schedule them to post throughout the month, and then just spend 30 minutes daily engaging with comments. That efficiency turns my side hustle into an investment machine without burning out." Let's address the elephant in the room. You don't need to hit some magical follower threshold before monetization is possible. Micro-influencers with smaller, highly engaged audiences often command impressive rates because of their conversion power. Brands recognize that 10,000 highly engaged followers can generate more sales than 100,000 passive ones. Despite challenges like algorithm changes and increasing competition, this model represents a fundamental shift in wealth building. Rather than separating content creation from investment strategy, Gen Z creators are building seamless pipelines that transform social capital directly into investment capital, systematically converting income into growing assets. What makes this approach powerful is its accessibility. Unlike traditional careers requiring specific degrees, content creation has virtually no barriers to entry beyond a smartphone and internet connection. This democratization of opportunity aligns perfectly with Gen Z's approach to finance, finding creative workarounds to systems that weren't designed with their economic realities in mind. Zero money down investing, free stock strategies that actually work. What if I told you that you could start investing today without spending a single dollar of your own money? I'm not talking about some sketchy get-rich-quick scheme or cryptocurrency scam promising impossible returns. I'm talking about legitimate investment platforms literally giving away free stocks just to get you in the door. While social media can be a cash machine for content creators, the stock market is giving away actual free money right now with zero effort required. There's a whole universe of zero money down investing where companies hand out stocks worth up to $200 just for showing up. No followers, no content creation skills, and definitely no dance moves required. The conventional wisdom has always been that you need money to make money in the stock market. That's what our parents and grandparents believed, and for decades they were right. But in today's competitive financial landscape, investment platforms are giving away free stocks to potential customers just to stand out from the crowd. So what exactly are these free stock opportunities? Let me break it down for you. Robinhood offers new users a free stock worth $5 to $200 just for signing up and connecting a bank account. No deposit needed. Public gives you a free stock, typically $5 to $200 when you create an account and make your first deposit. Webull kicks things up by giving 2 free stocks, valued between $3 to $300 each, when you open an account and deposit at least $100. Take it from Jamie, a college student who was always intimidated by investing. "I downloaded Robinhood expecting nothing and suddenly owned a piece of Microsoft. It was like $50 just appeared in my account. That moment completely changed how I viewed investing. It suddenly felt accessible to me." The real magic happens when you combine these sign-up bonuses with referral programs. Most platforms reward you with additional free stocks for bringing friends into the fold. One user accumulated over $1,000 in free stocks within a year just by actively participating in referral programs across multiple platforms. That's serious market exposure without spending a dollar of their own money, and now that money is working for them in the market, potentially growing for decades. You can take a strategic approach to maximize these opportunities. Start with no-deposit platforms, build a small portfolio of free stocks, then use that as your initial deposit for platforms with more generous offers requiring deposits. It's like financial platform hopscotch. where each jump builds your portfolio without touching your own cash. Beyond sign-up bonuses and referrals, there's another clever zero money down strategy: stock-back cards. These work like cashback cards, but instead of cash rewards, you get fractional shares of stocks. The stock-back card, for example, offers 1.5% back on purchases as fractional shares. Buy a $100 pair of sneakers and you'll automatically get $1.50 invested into the stock market. This approach transforms your everyday spending into passive investing. Your regular spending on groceries, gas, and other necessities becomes a vehicle for building your investment portfolio without requiring any additional cash outlay. Let's talk long-term potential. A free stock worth $100 today, if held for 30 years with an average annual return of 7%, which is below the historical average for the S&P 500, could grow to approximately $761. That's compound interest working on literally free money. Now multiply that by several free stocks plus referral bonuses, plus stockback rewards over years, and these small bonuses become the foundation of a legitimate investment strategy. Of course, there are some limitations to consider. These promotional offers won't be around forever, and some platforms require you to hold free stocks for 90 days before selling. Market conditions fluctuate too, which affects the growth potential of your free stocks. To maximize your free stock opportunities without annoying your friends, be strategic about who you refer. Focus on people genuinely interested in investing rather than blasting your referral link to everyone. Quality referrals are more likely to follow through, resulting in successful bonus payouts for both of you. Another strategy is to stagger your platform signups over several months. This approach allows you to learn each platform's features and ensures you don't miss out on any limited time promotional offers. For the truly dedicated bonus hunter, creating content about your experiences with these platforms can create a virtuous cycle. By sharing honest reviews on social media, you not only help others navigate the investing landscape, but also naturally incorporate your referral links, potentially generating even more free stocks. So what's in it for these companies? They're playing the long game, betting that users who sign up for free stocks will eventually deposit their own money, trade frequently, generating revenue through payment for order flow, or subscribe to premium features. Are you missing out on free stocks and sign-up bonuses? If you haven't explored these options yet, then absolutely yes. Many platforms are offering stocks worth $5 to $200 just for opening accounts or referring friends. It's literally free money sitting on the table, waiting for you to pick it up. Even if you're skeptical about investing or concerned about your financial knowledge, these free stocks provide a no-risk way to dip your toes into the market and start learning. The 401k match hack, literally doubling your money on day one. Speaking of free money sitting on the table, there's actually a much bigger table with way more money that 4 in 10 Gen Z workers aren't even bothering to sit at. Unlike those one-time stock bonuses worth a couple $100, this overlooked opportunity can literally double every dollar you invest instantly. No waiting, no market fluctuations, and zero dancing for TikTok required. I'm talking about employer 401k matching, the only legitimate risk-free way to double your money from day one. It's shocking that over 40% of eligible Gen Z workers are walking past thousands of dollars in free money every single payday. This is like someone offering you a free booster pack with every card you buy, doubling your collection instantly, you just shrugging and walking away empty-handed. Here's how 401k matching actually works. Your employer agrees to contribute money to your retirement account when you do. The most common setups include a 100% match up to 3% of your salary. They put in $1 for every dollar you contribute, or a 50% match up to 6%. They put in 50 cents for every dollar you contribute. Either way, it's free money that boosts your investment instantly. Let's get real with some numbers. If you're making $50,000 at your first post-college job with a 100% match on 3% contributions, that's $1,500 of free money yearly just for putting $1,500 of your own salary into your 401k. Thanks to compound growth, that single year's match could grow to over $16,000 in 40 years. assuming a 7% average annual return. Multiply that across your career, and we're talking hundreds of thousands in bonus money that your future self will thank you for. But I need every dollar of my paycheck right now. I hear you. The beauty is you can start small and still grab some of this free money. Even contributing just 1% of your paycheck is better than nothing. For those on tight budgets, consider front-loading contributions during bonus periods. Temporarily increase your contribution percentage for just that pay period to capture more matching funds without affecting your regular paychecks as much. Many think 401k money is locked away until retirement, but modern plans offer more flexibility than you might realize. You can often access funds through loans or hardship withdrawals if you really need to. And when you switch jobs, your 401k money follows you. Roll it over to your new employer's plan or into an IRA. The match doesn't disappear when you leave, though check if your company has a vesting period. The contribution limits are pretty generous too. In 2025, you can contribute up to $23,500 of your own money, with a combined limit for both your contributions and employer match set at $70,000. That's serious saving potential that grows with you over time, similar to how small, consistent investments compound into substantial wealth. Gig workers and freelancers aren't left out either. Solo 401k plans let you contribute both as an employee and an employer, essentially creating your own matching program. This maximizes your retirement savings even without a traditional employer, giving independent workers the same opportunity to build long-term wealth. I know retirement seems like ancient history when you're in your 20s, but here's the truth. A significant portion of Gen Z is already worried about retiring comfortably. Many feel they're behind compared to previous generations. The 401k match is one of the most powerful tools to help close that gap, turning small contributions today into significant wealth tomorrow. So why aren't more people grabbing this free money? Part of the issue is that many companies don't automatically enroll employees. You have to opt in. The good news is more employers are implementing auto-enrollment features, which dramatically increases participation rates. This simple change helps more people access this incredible benefit without having to navigate complex paperwork or financial decisions. What about those buried in student debt? You might actually be able to do both, even contributing just enough to get part of your employer match while paying down debt can significantly boost your long-term financial outlook. Think about it. If your employer offers a 100% match, that's an immediate 100% return on your investment. Your student loans don't charge 100% interest. If they do, call the authorities immediately. The guaranteed return from a match often outweighs loan interest. For the "I'd rather invest in crypto or stocks" crowd, remember that a 401k is just an account type, not an investment itself. Inside your 401k, you'll typically have options ranging from conservative bond funds to aggressive stock funds. Some modern plans even offer socially responsible investments that align with your values. The key difference is you're getting free money on top of whatever market returns your investments earn. Let's put this in perspective. Sign-up bonuses might get you a few $100s once, but maximizing an employer match could mean tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars over your career. It's the difference between finding a $20 bill on the sidewalk versus discovering an ATM that doubles every dollar you put in. Starting small now and letting compound interest work its magic gives you the best credit card rewards as an investment strategy. Points to portfolios. That ATM that doubles your money is awesome. But there's another financial hack hiding in your wallet that's turning everyday purchases into tiny investments. Think about it. What if instead of redeeming those hard-earned credit card points for a free latte that's gone in minutes, you could use them to buy stocks that might grow for decades? Your credit card might actually be the stealth investment account you never knew you had. Gen Z is completely flipping the script on credit card rewards. While previous generations have been content with using points for free flights or cash back to buy more stuff, these young financial rebels are redirecting those rewards straight into investment accounts. They've discovered a powerful pathway from spending to investing that most people overlook. Credit card rewards are pretty straightforward. Spend money, earn points, redeem them for something you want. Traditionally, this meant travel perks, statement credits, or random stuff from rewards catalogs. It's like immediately eating dessert, satisfying for a moment but quickly forgotten. Gen Z takes a dramatically different approach. They're choosing cards offering investment-related rewards, like direct stock back or enhanced cashback rates when rewards are invested. They see these points not as a way to consume more, but as free investment capital that grows over time. Take the Aspiration card, for example. It lets users earn cash back they can invest directly into stocks. Picture this. A typical Gen Z user grabs their morning coffee, pays with their card, and automatically buys fractional shares in companies they believe in. That $5 latte just helped them become a tiny owner in the coffee company that made it. The math makes this approach incredibly compelling. The average American earns about $400 in credit card rewards annually. Used for purchases, that's $400 of stuff you'll forget by next year. But invested yearly for 20 years at a 7% average return, you're looking at over $16,000. That transforms forgettable purchases into a significant retirement contribution. Financial companies are noticing this trend and adapting quickly. Many now offer seamless integration between rewards and investment platforms. Imagine your cashback automatically flowing from purchases to your portfolio without any extra steps. No temptation to spend it elsewhere, just steady investment growth happening in the background while you live your life. One Gen Z investor shared how they've set up their cashback rewards to go directly into their Roth IRA. Instead of treating rewards as spending money, they view it as future money that compounds over time. This simple mindset shift creates massive long-term impact. Of course, this strategy only works if you're not carrying credit card debt. You absolutely must pay your balance in full each month. Credit cards charge 18 to 25% interest, while investments typically grow at 7 to 10% annually. Carrying a balance completely undermines any potential gains. If you can't pay off your card monthly, focus on that first before implementing this strategy. For responsible credit users, maximizing investment rewards is straightforward. Find cards with higher cashback in categories where you spend the most. If you're a takeout fanatic, get a card with restaurant rewards. Commuter, look for gas or transit bonuses. Just never increase spending to chase rewards. That's a losing game. Instead, route your existing spending through the right cards. Some people even label their credit cards with sticky notes to remind themselves which card to use for which category. This simple organizational hack ensures you're always earning the maximum rewards on every purchase without having to think about it. Automatic transfers are crucial to success. Set up your accounts so cashback moves directly to investments without hitting your checking account first. This removes both friction and temptation, ensuring your rewards actually become investments rather than getting absorbed into your regular spending. What makes this particularly appealing to Gen Z is how financial platforms are gamifying the experience. Many apps celebrate investment milestones or provide engaging visualizations that make investing feel more like the apps they already enjoy. This digital-first approach creates a seamless experience that turns boring financial tasks into something more engaging and rewarding. Just be careful about fees. High fee structures can seriously eat into small investment amounts, especially for users with low account balances. A flat monthly fee might represent a surprisingly large percentage of your total investment from rewards. The psychological benefit is perhaps the most powerful aspect. This approach transforms your view of everyday spending. Your $4 coffee doesn't just give you caffeine, it also contributes a few cents toward your financial future. Over time, spending and investing become connected activities rather than opposing forces. Ready to try this approach? Check if your existing card allows automatic transfers of cash back to investments. If not, research cards designed specifically for investment rewards. Set up automatic transfers immediately before you get used to seeing that cash back as spending money. Then just use your card normally, pay it off completely each month, and watch your investment account grow without extra effort. The traditional finance world's reaction. Why Wall Street is worried. These DIY investment hacks are awesome for building your portfolio, but they're giving the suits on Wall Street major heartburn. The financial establishment that once controlled access to investing through hefty minimum requirements and complicated fee structures is watching their entire business model get turned upside down by kids with apps and $1 fractional shares. Traditional financial advisors are seriously sweating over 20-somethings putting lunch money into investments. Younger investors are completely sidestepping the gatekeepers who've controlled access to wealth building for generations, creating a fundamental shift in the industry. The numbers tell the whole story. While 92% of baby boomers still use traditional brokerage accounts, only 66% of Gen Z investors follow that path. This massive shift is sending shockwaves through the financial industry faster than anyone expected. The traditional financial world was built on a model where you needed a significant amount of money just to get in the door, says a veteran financial planner who requested anonymity. We're talking minimum account sizes of $10,000 or more. Now these kids are building diversified portfolios with what amounts to pocket change, and it's fundamentally changing our industry. This disruption affects the entire revenue model financial advisors have relied on for decades. Most traditional advisors charge around 1 to 1.5% of assets under management. This works great with a client investing $500,000, earning advisors $5,000 to $7,500 annually. But when someone invests $50 through an app, that same fee structure would earn about 50 cents a year. Hardly a sustainable business model. What's really significant is that Gen Z is becoming an economic powerhouse. Bank of America reports that Gen Z's spending will explode from $2.7 trillion this year to $12.6 trillion globally by 2030. Traditional financial institutions are scrambling like outdated map sellers in a GPS world, desperately trying to stay relevant when their core service is increasingly available for free. The democratization of financial information presents another challenge to traditional advisors. When 60% of Gen Z turns to YouTube for investment advice rather than certified financial planners, the value of paying for professional guidance becomes questionable. Financial literacy expert Amanda Francis notes that Gen Z is preparing for their changing place in the global economy by becoming investors, not just consumers. They're just doing it differently than expected. 20 years ago, we were the gatekeepers of both information and access, explains a wealth management executive. You needed us to explain complex financial concepts, and you needed us to execute trades. Now anyone with a smartphone can learn about options trading on TikTok and execute complicated investment strategies with a few taps. Our industry is facing an existential crisis. The community aspect of Gen Z's financial education adds another dimension. The loud budgeting trend on TikTok has created a new approach to financial transparency. Instead of private conversations with advisors, Gen Z discusses money publicly, sharing strategies and learning collectively. This peer-to-peer knowledge transfer creates connections traditional finance can't replicate. There's also a values disconnect happening. While traditional financial advice focuses primarily on maximizing returns, Gen Z shows a strong preference for socially responsible investing and assets that align with their ethics. Building portfolios $5 at a time allows them to be choosy about which companies receive their money. Some forward-thinking financial institutions are adapting rather than resisting. Major banks are launching micro-investing features, reducing fees, and creating digital-first experiences that mirror popular fintech apps. The traditional players who survive will be the ones who embrace this change rather than fight it, says a fintech consultant who's worked with several major banks. Getting a Gen Z investor with $200 today might mean having their business when they have $200,000 in 10 years. This shift raises legitimate concerns from traditional financial experts. They worry that gamified investing might encourage risky behavior without the guardrails that professional guidance provides. There's also the question of whether Gen Z investors properly diversify their portfolios or understand tax implications of their investment activities. I worry that easy access to investing without corresponding education about risk management could lead to bad outcomes, notes a financial educator. The basics of investing are simple, but tax optimization, estate planning, and proper risk assessment are complex topics that most TikTok videos don't cover in depth. These concerns, while valid, miss a crucial point. For many Gen Z investors, the choice isn't between a financial advisor or a fintech app. It's between app investing or not investing at all. When traditional paths have exclusionary minimum requirements, even an imperfect investment approach beats staying on the sidelines completely. Encouragingly, Gen Z's approach is evolving in response to industry feedback. Many popular financial content creators now focus more on education around risk management and diversification. The community increasingly polices itself, calling out poor advice and elevating quality information, creating a different but rapidly improving approach to financial education. The generational digital fluency gap works against traditional advisors. While financial professionals have market experience, they often lack the digital literacy that comes naturally to Gen Z. An advisor struggling with social media presence will have trouble connecting with a generation that lives online. For traditional financial institutions, the path forward requires innovation. Some are successfully transitioning by creating separate brands or acquiring fintech startups to attract younger clients, showing that adaptation is possible even in this disrupted landscape. The reality is that Gen Z investors aren't abandoning their apps for traditional brokerage firms. Their influence on investing culture will likely grow with their economic power. Traditional financial institutions must reimagine their business models for a world where gatekeeping financial knowledge is increasingly obsolete. Your action plan. Starting today with whatever you have. Let's get brutally honest for a sec. What's really stopping you from starting today? Because that whole, "I'll invest when I have more money" excuse is totally dead. Even if your wallet is practically empty right now, there's a $0 strategy with your name on it just waiting to build your financial future. I'm not here to lecture you about compound interest or retirement planning. You've probably heard enough of that already. I'm here to give you an actual game plan that works with whatever you've got in your bank account right now. Yes, even if that amount has a sad little zero next to it. Let's break this down into what I call the broke but investing decision tree. It works no matter what your financial situation looks like. $0. Start with sign-up bonuses. Those free stocks worth up to $200 just for creating an account are your entry ticket. Just an email address and a few minutes transforms you into an investor. Employed with benefits. Check your employer's 401k matching. Even a 1% contribution from your paycheck grabs that free money. You'll barely notice the difference in your take-home pay. A few dollars to spare. Embrace micro-investing. Swap one fancy coffee for a homemade cup and put that $5 into your investment account each week. Skills but no cash. Build a side hustle investment pipeline. Nearly 2/3 of Gen Z already earn around $958 monthly this way. Even a few hours weekly can generate solid investment capital. The real barriers aren't always financial, they're psychological. About 32% of Gen Z fear losing money, while 44% simply don't know where to start. These emotional hurdles can be tougher than empty pockets. Take Jamie, a 22-year-old barista who started with just $25 from a birthday card. Living paycheck to paycheck while studying, she invested that money instead of spending it on another night out. She automated $5 weekly transfers, money she'd normally spend on vending machine snacks. 6 months later, she felt confident enough to start a small content creation side hustle, sharing her journey. Her side hustle generated around $200 monthly, half of which went straight to investments. Within a year, her portfolio grew to over $2,000. Not life-changing money, but a massive psychological win that transformed her relationship with money forever. Or Marcus, drowning in $37,000 of student debt, who discovered he was missing out on $1,800 annually by ignoring his employer's 401k match. He started contributing just enough to get the full match while maintaining his loan payments. 5 years later, his debt is smaller, but his 401k has grown to over $15,000, money he would have completely missed if he'd waited until debt-free. What these stories show isn't the amount. It's that They started where they were, with what they had. They didn't wait for perfect conditions to begin building their financial future. Here's your super simple 30-day challenge that even the busiest, most broke college student can handle. Week 1, download one investment app, just create an account and explore for 10 minutes. Week 2, set up an automatic transfer of $1 per week. If you can't spare it, focus on sign-up bonuses instead. Week 3, learn about one investment option daily. Spend 5 minutes on YouTube or TikTok, reading about an ETF on Monday, a blue chip stock on Tuesday, etc. Week 4, make your first investment decision. Buy a $1 fractional share of something you understand, like a tiny piece of Apple if you have an iPhone. This plan requires less than $5 and about 30 minutes total, but it breaks through the mental barrier of I'm not an investor and replaces it with I'm building my financial future one step at a time. For those who need more structure, here's your action guide based on your situation. Employed with 401k. 1. Contact HR today for contributions, even 1%. 2. Choose a simple target date fund. 3. Increase by 1% with each raise. Student or part-time worker. 1. Sign up for a no-fee platform. 2. Claim available sign-up bonuses. 3. Automate 1 to 5 weekly transfers. 4. Start with a low-cost index fund. Skills but limited cash. 1. Identify one marketable skill. 2. Create a basic Fiverr/Upwork profile. 3. Set up a separate account for income. 4. Automate 50% to investments. Dealing with debt. 1. Secure that 401k match. Free money. 2. Attack highest interest debt first. 3. Commit $5 weekly to investments. 4. Direct credit card rewards to investments. What's especially cool about Gen Z's approach is that 49% are motivated by becoming their own boss, while 42% follow their passions. This entrepreneurial mindset perfectly suits the side hustle investment pipeline. You're not just earning money, you're building something that reflects your values while funding your financial future. The truth is, 44% of side hustlers say their biggest obstacle is time, not skill or opportunity. But this is where smart work beats hard work. Many Gen Z entrepreneurs use AI and automation tools to streamline their side hustles, turning 20-hour commitments into 5-hour weekly projects. The absolute minimum to start investing today? $0 for sign-up bonuses, $1 for micro-investing. And for side hustles, just a few hours doing something you might actually enjoy. The power isn't in the amount. It's in starting now, exactly where you are. Here's a reality check. Gen Z is about to inherit $36 trillion in wealth over the next 5 years. That's generation-changing money. But they're not waiting around for that inheritance to start building their financial future. The power of starting now cannot be overstated. Even small weekly contributions activate the financial magic of compound interest, working silently in your life's background. You don't need perfect finances to begin investing. The most crucial step is simply taking action. Downloading that investing app during your app coffee run, or finally enrolling in your workplace 401k. Those tiny money seeds you plant today will grow into your future wealth forest. Your future self is counting